different sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
3, 2, 1. The drop is live. Screens freeze everywhere, except yours. You've been training for this moment. And with Aloe Fiber's zero-lag precision, you strike first. No lag, no limits, just speed. Can your internet provider do that? Stay ahead of every drop. Visit aloefiber.com/all-in.
Nebraska is changing, and the decisions we make today will define what's next. The Nebraska Chamber Foundation has uncovered powerful insights about our state's strengths and opportunities. But this data only matters when it leads to action. That's why we've launched Go Big Future, a campaign to put these insights into the hands of leaders, communities, and decision makers across this great state. Our future won't just happen by accident. We must build it together. Visit gobigfuture.com to learn more.
Does someone in your household avoid phone calls because they can't hear clearly, or do they have difficulty speaking on the phone? Nebraska offers a solution. The Nebraska Specialized Telecommunications Equipment Program, or NSTEP, provides financial assistance for specialized devices like amplified phones, captioned telephones, smartphones with Bluetooth pairing to hearing aids, and speech-generating devices. If you're a Nebraska resident with a certified hearing or speech disability, you may qualify. It's not income-based, and once approved, you own the equipment. Learn more or apply at psc.nebraska.gov or call 1-800-526-0017.
Sandhills Global is growing right here in Lincoln. With our expanding campus and continued growth, we're hiring across a wide range of careers, from interns to experienced professionals. Join the team at Sandhills Global and build your career with competitive pay, great benefits, and real opportunities to grow. Visit sandhills.jobs to view openings and apply today. That's sandhills.jobs. Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day, because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful, with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work, to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Hi, Husker Nation. This is Rex Burkhead. On Lincoln Gives Day, I hope you'll join me in supporting the Team Jack Foundation and their mission to fund life-saving childhood brain cancer research. Kids and families facing brain cancer deserve better treatments and more hope for the future. Every donation helps move that mission forward. You can make your gift today by visiting givetolincoln.com and searching Team Jack. I'm proud to support the Team Jack Foundation and the fight for every child and family affected by brain cancer.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Imagine if the people who work at your bank were neighbors who could help with a home loan.
Congratulations, you're approved.
Or friends who love to shop local.
Have a good one.
At UBT, who you work with matters just as much as what you're working toward.
Hey, thanks for helping.
That's why your money has more than a banker. It has people. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with E15, how about this? E15
can help you save big at the pump
and save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose E15, there you have them. E15, engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseE15.com to learn more.
Attention Nebraska sports fans. Are you ready to take your skills to the next level? The Army National Guard is looking for leaders who are dedicated, driven, and ready to make a difference. Join up and gain invaluable experience while serving your country with a flexible schedule, competitive benefits, and a chance to build a strong future. Learn more at nationalguard.com/Nebraska. Live here, serve here. The Nebraska Army National Guard. Guard the good life.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on making the most craveable chicken finger meals, getting them right every time. That's why we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, salt every fry, squeeze every lemon, and brew every ounce. We do this inside every Raising Cane's, every day, because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Welcome into a presentation of high school state baseball on 93.7 The Ticket. Coverage of state baseball is presented by Union Bank and Trust, Sunbelt Rentals, the Nebraska Corn Board, Jimmy John's, the Nebraska Army National Guard, Hamilton Communications, and Play It Again Sports. From Werner Park, this is state baseball on 93.7 The Ticket. Now, calling all the action, here are Austin Orman and Tristan Gomez.
Yes, indeed, coming at you about 2 hours earlier tonight than we did last night for the final game of the day at Werner Park. I am Austin Orman. He is Tristan Gomez, getting you set for a fun game, an elimination game here in Class A between Grand Island and Papillion LaVista South. Let's run down the starting lineups first for the visiting Islanders. They're led off by Ian Aarons playing center field. Sam Schroeder, the catcher, bats second, and it's Grayson Sack playing second base in the 3 spot. Batting cleanup, first baseman Gabe Ruiz. Number 5 in the 5 spot, Ethan Mader in right field. Batting sixth, it's Gavin Ruther, the third baseman. DHing and batting seventh is Brody Davidson. In the 8 hole, it's Brock Cushing wearing number 9 playing shortstop. And at the bottom of the order, wearing number 1, it's left fielder Carson Washburn. Flipping things over for the lineup for Papillion LaVista South. In left field, leading off is Brady Alderson. Batting second at shortstop, Griffin Minderman. It's Matthew Gorman at first base in the 3 hole. Cordell Klinkingbeard at second, batting cleanup. 5 spot, it's Drew Ripple. He'll be playing third base today. In the 6 hole, it's Tyler Andringa. He mans right field. On the bump, it's Jackson Willer. He bats 7th. 8th is the catcher, Caden Serco. And the DH, Sam Dolphins, bats 9th. In place of center fielder Donnie Rosenthal. Tristan, a beautiful night for baseball. Any night that there's baseball is beautiful. Let's be honest. We're excited to be out here for this one.
Some clouds in the sky, but a calmer night tonight than last night. The sun is shining as shadows creep onto the field. Should be a pristine night for some Class A baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be beautiful, especially for two teams that had to deal with a little bit of weather yesterday, especially Papillion South. They got done late last night and had not too quick of a turnaround, but still had enough time to kind of seeking their sorrows for a little bit after that, tough loss to Lincoln East. And now you got to get back on track right here as you take on a Grand Island team that's coming in a little bit hotter, just defeating Lincoln Southwest yesterday.
The Islanders knock the Silverhawks out of the state tournament, trying to make it a second team that they can send home. Again, on the mound for Papillion South, it's righty Jackson Willer. Willer wears number 12. He's a senior. 15 strikeouts on the year. Getting the ball in a win or go home game. It's not winner, W-I-N-N-E-R, go home. It is win, space, or O-R, go home game. Important to make that distinction. I suppose if you're up 3-1 in a series or you have 3 wins approaching a 7th, then it can be winner, go home, but the loser goes home as well in that situation. These two teams, Tristan, both ended up winning their first game, losing their second game of the tournament, which is how they're here in the loser's side of the bracket. Awaiting them tomorrow on the bottom half of the bracket. It'll be Lincoln East. Tough task ahead of either of these two teams.
Yeah, and I think in this situation, like you said, it's win or go home. And so as much as you're thinking about, all right, if we win this, we got to play Lincoln East and we have to beat them twice, is if you lose this one, you're done. And so this is an opportunity for both teams to just take it one pitch at a time. I mean, even yesterday watching Papillion South, they get up early 1-0 in that first inning, and then Lincoln East really just put it to them, and Papillion South didn't have an answer. And so in this one, I think it's going to be important to start out hot, similar to how they did yesterday, but then continuously get better in that lineup throughout the game. Yesterday, Lincoln East just took control of that game and never looked back. And Grand Island coming into this one, you beat a number 3 seeded Lincoln Southwest team that had a really good season, and they go 2-0 in this tournament. And now Grand Island has an opportunity to hopefully face Lincoln East tomorrow.
The Islanders led Lincoln East in their first game of the tournament, but the defending champions found a way to come back and win it, moved to 2-0, put themselves in pole position to give themselves a chance to defend that title. South in the field as the home team right now. Blue caps, blue jerseys, white pants. For Grand Island, it's black jerseys and white pants. Willer is about ready to deliver the first pitch of the night. Working out of the windup from the extreme first base side of the rubber. Number 12 brings it home. It's a fastball down the heart, 0-1. Leading off again is Ian Ahrens for Grand Island. Wears number 2, plays center field, 241 batting average. Ahrens awaits the 0-1 from Willer. Winds and deals. Fastball poked into left. Hanging up there and settling underneath it is the left fielder, Brady Alderson. 2 pitches, 1 out for Papillion South here in the top of the first. Ahrens flies to left, bringing up Sam Schroeder. Schroeder, where's number 8? Strides across the field from that first base dugout over to the right-handed batter's box. This season, a 360 batting average. 32 for 89. Schroeder was in some pain at points yesterday behind the dish doing some catching. Has not shown any of those ill effects here today. First pitch swinging, reached for a breaking ball out. Yanked it down toward the Papillion South dugout, 0-1. Kind of a key moment here in a season, Tristan. Obviously yesterday as well for Grand Island, needing to win and needed to stay alive in the tournament. You can respect a guy playing through some of the pain, even if he's laboring behind the dish.
Yeah, a guy hitting 360, you're a leader on one of these teams, especially you're a catcher. You're definitely one of the leaders, especially on the defensive side.
Schroeder flies one down the right field line. The wind and the natural spin twists that one into the seats. So now Schroeder's down 0-2.
Especially in an opportunity like this where it is win or go home. If you lose this one, your season is done. And so for Schroeder, he wants to extend, this season for Grand Island and the Islanders. And when you're hitting second, you're catching. This is a guy that needs to be in the lineup, and I think he's obviously pushing through it.
Willer's got a very deliberate windup. He'll start open, raise the glove, kick that left foot, bring his arms above his head, then drop his hands down below his belt before he brings it home. Schroeder rolls over that one, and it's booted by Minderman. Taylor made 6-3 right at him, but Minderman couldn't corral it. Took it off the chest. It bounds into center field. Sam Schroeder reaches on an E6. Can't do much more than that if you're the pitcher, Willer.
No. Willer doing a great job right now throwing strikes. All strikes so far in this one and that one. Looks like Minderman just caught him on his heels a little bit. Didn't know if he should go attack that. And they just got done with IO. They didn't re-rake the field. So maybe possibly some bad hops out here. But in this situation, you got to come get it.
That brings up 3-hole hitter Grayson Sack. Sack has been on the mound for Grand Island as recently as yesterday. This year he sports a .341 batting average. He's got a runner at first and one out in the top of the first. Willer, a long pause. He holds the ball below his waist in his glove. Slide step, kicks and deals a fastball inner corner, strike one. Important for pitchers to be able to command both sides of the plate, especially against lineups as dangerous as all of these are. One matchup between these two teams throughout the course of the year, it was a 2-1 decision that went the way of the Islanders. I was back in the first half of the season. Lots changed since then. It's 0-1. Willer, obviously in the stretch, brings it home. Breaking ball misses just inside 1-1. There's a courtesy runner over there on first base for the catcher, Schroeder. Get you a number as soon as we see it. I do think deliberate's probably the right word for Willer. Takes his sweet time getting back onto the mound, getting his sign, and getting to his set position. Breaking ball, hung and tailed out of the zone, 2-1.
Willer does seem pretty confident out there. Me personally, I do love a pitcher that just gets on the mound and just gets going. You don't have to take too much time in between pitches. It's just go, go, go. Not enough time to think. But every pitcher, it's each their own.
Willer with a long look over to first base. Now he'll disengage before he fakes the throw over. But no, first base umpire says he balked. Said he did not disengage before he made the move. It was a quick move out of Willer, so there's a free 90 feet for that courtesy runner and a runner in scoring position with one out.
Yeah, right there. I mean, Willer, I think, just got a little too quick with it. I think that was one he needed to throw over with that jump pick and just didn't disengage whatsoever and kind of shocked him. But in the Papio South coaching dugout, they're expecting a balk there called too.
As opposed to last night, even I know that one's a balk. Willer hops right back on the mound and fires a fastball for a strike to Sack. Counts even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Schroeder was down 0-2 before he grounded to short. Minderman booted it. Now, Sack finds himself in a 2-2 count. Willer, a long look back to second base. He continues the staring match. Now he finally brings it home. Was the batter granted time? Does not appear the batter was granted time, but the breaking ball missed. The umpire and the catcher stayed in their stands even as Grayson Sack backed out of the batter's box as Willer was getting set to turn and deliver that pitch. So now the count's full. Willer, another long look to second base, brings it home. Fastball chopped through the right side. Over on a couple hops is Klinkingbeard for the play. That's the second out of the inning. Sack does his job and moves the runner to third. Puts him 90 feet away now for Gabe Ruiz. Ruiz, the cleanup hitter, playing first base today. 341 hitter on the year. Good guy to have up with the game's first run, just 90 short feet away. Ruiz, big, strong righty. Gives the bat a couple twirls before he gets it on his shoulder. Willer does go back to the windup with the runner on third. Ruiz first pitch swinging over a breaking ball, 0-1. Pitching backwards, Tristan, comes into play quite a bit, especially for the middle of some of these orders.
Yeah, we saw Papio South doing the same thing yesterday to Lincoln East. And if you have a guy on the mound that can locate a fastball and a breaker, makes it so much easier to get guys out.
Willer winds and deals. Ruiz chops that one past his third base coach down the line and foul, 0-2. Swung over a breaking ball. He laced a fastball down the line, but he was on top of it. What are you thinking if you're Willer?
I think if you're Willer right here, it's just, you kind of have a giveaway pitch right here. Either go breaking ball away, maybe fastball up.
Trust your catcher to block something in the dirt. It was the fastball up. Circo gives him a point saying, yep, you located it, but Ruiz didn't chase it.
I still think right here, you got 1-2 in the count. You're facing Ruiz that's hitting over 340. Still here, I think you make sure you're not giving anything good.
Ruiz back in the box. Willer ready to bring home the 1-2. 2 outs in the inning, runner on third. Willer brings it home. Ruiz waves at a breaking ball. He's down on strikes. and the error does not come back to bite Papio South in the first. No score for the Islanders through the top half of the inning. Papio South comes to bat next in a Class A state tournament game on 93.7 The Ticket.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Back to more of the Class B State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket.
We're here in the Class A tournament, Grand Island and Papio South. Half an inning complete, no score. One base runner on an error with Sam Schroeder. Due up here for Papio South against Miles Nelson will be Brady Alderson, Griffin Minderman, and Matthew Gorman. It's the left fielder, the shortstop, and the first baseman. A lot of state tournament experience for Papillion LaVista South, as they were here last year. It's been a few years since we saw the Islanders up here at Warner Park. Their most recent appearance was 2023. They have won a title in school history back in 2008. Miles Nelson on the mound, 32 strikeouts and a 1.43 ERA entering the state tournament on the bump. Nelson gets the ball from his infielders. He's climbing up the hill. Brady Alderson ready to step in that right-handed batter's box. Alderson at the top of the lineup, a .310 batting average, 23 runs scored on the campaign. First pitch from Nelson, a fastball in for a strike, 0-1. There's the get-me-over fastball. Always interesting to see which leadoff hitters are in see pitches mode and which ones are in attack mode. As now Alderson's down in the count 0-2 after another fastball. Typically, you expect breaking ball in this situation for a pitcher ahead 0-2. Have seen an elevated fastball a couple times from Willer on the other side. It is the breaking ball. Alderson's on it, tags it to center, sends the center fielder Aaron's back. He thought he had a beat on it at first, hung up a little longer, went a little further than he initially thought, but he's there for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, not a bad piece of hitting there from Alderson. You go down 0-2 without taking a swing. We always talked about in those first two strikes, you want to get at least one swing off, just get your timing down. Understand, all right, I'm a little late, a little earlier. Still put a good barrel on that one. But it looked like he had two strikes early in the count to maybe drive a little bit.
So here's Minderman, shortstop today. An error in the first. He's going to flip that one out to right field, sends the second baseman Sack back, and he makes the catch. Something fell off. Looks like the sunglasses of Grayson Sack, but he backpedals. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So 4 pitches and 2 outs. Minderman not afraid to pursue that first pitch, but he can't find outfield grass. That brings up Matthew Gorman. We've seen Gorman in left and now at first base here in this tournament. Gorman, a junior, .333 batting average. Swings left-handed. Gives his bat a couple taps, and come on, we can do this. 4 pitches and 2 outs for Miles Nelson here in the first. Gorman takes a fastball out, 1-0. Pretty good miss there from Nelson, though, Tristan. Not much Gorman's going to be able to do with that except maybe take it oppo.
No, Nelson's doing a good job of painting the corners right now, and I think he doesn't want to give anything good.
Nelson brings a fastball a little further out. Doesn't get the call, 2-0. Nelson is working quickly. He'll get it and step right back to the rubber. Gorman has the bat on his shoulders. Foot way in the back of the batter's box. Nelson's 2-0, runs inside, now 3-0. Talked about it yesterday, Tristan. 2 outs, 2-0, now it's 3-0.
Yeah, it's one of the cardinal sins in baseball is you have your guys, you have your defense. We get 2 quick outs, we're ready to get back in the dugout, we're ready to go swing again. And now if you draw a walk right here, you're still back out there on defense trying to figure it out on the mound.
Gorman awaits the 3-0. Miles Nelson brings it home. It's a fastball over the heart, 3-1. Wind has shifted a little bit, certainly softer than it's been all day, blowing a little more across the field and slightly in as opposed to out to right. 3-1 ripped into the left center field gap, but tailing back toward the left fielder. Sprinting to make the catch is Carson Washburn. Matthew Gorman tried to go the other way, but it hung up there into the teeth of that wind. No runs on it, no hits, no one left on base for the Titans in the first. We head to the second on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Husker Nation. This is Rex Burkhead. On Lincoln Gives Day, I hope you'll join me in supporting the Team Jack Foundation and their mission to fund life-saving childhood brain cancer research. Kids and families facing brain cancer deserve better treatments and more hope for the future. Every donation helps move that mission forward. You can make your gift today by visiting givetolincoln.com and searching Team Jack. I'm proud to support the Team Jack Foundation and the fight for every child and family affected by brain cancer.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Back to more of the Class B State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket.
No score, 1 inning complete at Warner Park. Final game of 4 today. We saw a couple in Class B and now 2 in Class A. The losers pools on both sides of the bracket. I'm Austin Norman. He is Tristan Gomez. Grand Island went down pretty quiet in the first. Reached on an error, did Sam Schroeder. So they send 4 to the plate. Schroeder's pinch runner, courtesy runner, doesn't get past second base. It'll be Ethan Mater, Gavin Ruther, and Brody Davidson due up for the Islanders here in the visitor second. Righty-lefty matchup as Jackson Willer has the ball, ready to deliver the first pitch of the top of the second to Ethan Mater. Brings it home. Fastball low, 1-0. 15-pitch first for Willer. So I have him at least. Mater awaits the 1-0. Gives his bat a couple spins. Now Willer's going to kick and deal. Here comes the 1-0. Well-located fastball outer edge, 1-1. Pretty big ballpark out here at Warner, even for the heart of some of these lineups. We've seen homers hit before. Braden Sweeney hit one to the track for Millard South not that long ago. Seen a couple flyouts to the warning track, but I have yet to see a home run in this tournament as Mater shoots that one down the line, but foul, 1-2. Yep. I say that, Tristan, because when you get to the heart of some of these orders, these are some of the guys you think of for some of that slug, that extra base pop. We haven't seen very many balls split the gap. Pretty much all the power has come from turning on something down the line.
Yeah, I mean, this is a place that does have huge gaps, but down the line is where kind of the money is made here. I mean, the ball hangs up here more than a lot of stadiums that, we've seen. And so if you hit something at the gap, we see outfielders have the time to get under it. And then also it's just a huge ballpark that makes it tough to get anything out of the ballpark unless you hit it right down the line.
Mater watched a breaking ball low. It's 2-2. Willer hides his face behind his glove. Goes into that deliberate windup. Brings it home. Fastball, inner edge, called strike 3. Willer gets Mater down looking.
Tough one for Mater there. That one possibly caught the inside corner. Still one of those that you still just got to fight off all that you can. A fastball in with 2 strikes is a tougher one because you're thinking, all right, I can be a little late on the fastball. But when they go a fastball right inside and paint that corner, sometimes there's just nothing you can do.
Maybe a little life on it as well. Not as much as you might see in the college or professional ranks, but if you start it, on the inside part of the batter's box, maybe it had some tail kicking back to the plate. Half-hearted check swing from Ruther. He's down in the count 0-1. Fooled by that one, went around a little further than he wanted to. Cheap strike, but a strike nonetheless for Willer. His battery mate behind the dish is Caden Serco. Serco gives Willer the sign. He's ready to bring it home. The 0-1 just low, 1-1. Good miss from Willer. You miss below the knee, it's going to be harder for any hitter, but especially high school hitters, to do any damage to it. Willer's ready with the 1-1. He brings it home to Gavin Ruther. Breaking ball. Ruther skies this one in the air to center. Will send Donnie Rosenthal back a few steps. Now Rosenthal settles underneath it. Makes the one-handed catch for the second out of the inning.
We've talked about it plenty, but here's another opportunity for Papio South to get a quick 1-2-3 inning. And so for Willer, it's going to be important to get ahead to this batter right here and get your lineup back into the dugout.
The batter is Brody Davidson, senior utility guy, 245 batting average entering today. Nobody on, 2 outs, top of the second. No score between Grand Island and Papio South. Willer yanked a fastball. Not happy with himself, 1-0. See that happen, Tristan, guys, maybe overthrow a little bit. Trying not to serve up a meatball on a platter even for a get-me-over strike. Willer's ready with his 1-0. Tries the fastball again. That one's right down the heart of the plate, 1-1. Nick Sainer and I were talking about this approach is more than just patience. It's knowing what pitch you want to hit, knowing where you want it to be hit, and then whenever you get that pitch, almost regardless of the count, are you ready to pull the trigger on it? Willer's into the line. Here comes his 1-1. Breaking ball and a beauty, 1-2.
Yeah, during my time at Portland, we always thought of just having like 6 balls across the plate, and you kind of just had your zone. So, 1 being inside, 7 being away. I would always think, all right, I'm looking for 3, 4, 5. Most guys are going to attack outside. We're seeing Willer do that right now. And so looking for one of those pitches, especially early in the count.
Willer's up in the count, 1-2 on Brody Davidson. That breaking ball missed low, 2-2. Righty-righty matchup. Davidson against Willer. Willer needs a second to adjust the sleeve on his right arm. Pretty full sleeve, not a little longer maybe than 3/4, but not all the way down his wrist on his right arm. Willer's ready with the 2-2. 2 outs in the top of the second. Another breaking ball. Serco can't corral it. It will trickle back to the screen, but count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Brody Davidson seeing some pitches here. Most pitches any Islander has seen in an at-bat so far today. Granted, the game is young. Davidson gives the bat a waggle as he climbs back in the box. Willer's here, ready to bring home the full count pitch with 2 outs. It's a fastball low and in, and Brody Davidson draws a 2-out walk. So a 2-out base runner now for the Islanders. Brings up Brock Cushing. Cushing's at short tonight. Fine defensive player. In the batter's box, he has a 226 batting average. Get some words from his coach down the third baseline, words of encouragement. Davidson shuffles off of first base with a short lead. Willer back to working out of the stretch. Long peek back at first. Now another. Willer finally glances home. Brings it home. And Cushing swings underneath a fastball that was up. 0-1.
Willer does it where when he comes set, he's still kind of peeking over that back shoulder over to first base. And maybe he's different, but there's been so many pitchers I've talked to that said they'll do that, and they can't even see the runner. Like, if they see the runner, it means he has like a ginormous lead, but most of the time you can't even see him. It's all for show.
Well, sometimes no information is in itself information. No news being good news. If the runner's not that far off, then hey, you learned what you wanted to.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, if I was at first base as a base runner and I saw a guy doing that, I always thought, like, all right, he's got some crazy peripherals. He can see me right now, so don't get too far off or he's going to pick off.
Willer's been taking his time. Cushing wanted a timeout. Ready for Willer to work with some more pace. Willer, a couple long pauses, brings it home and he plunks Cushing. Got him up on that lead left shoulder. So 2 free passes. One via the walk, another by a hit by pitch. And a runner moves to scoring position for 9-hole hitter Carson Washburn. Willer was ahead in the count, 0-1. Had the long look at first base, had Cushing call time, and Willer ran a fastball up and in. That does bring up Carson Washburn, wearing number 1, the senior, playing left field, made a nice running catch to end last inning. Weller along Lacombe. Peeks at second base, brings it home to Washburn. Snaps off a breaking ball to get ahead in the count, 0-1. First runner in scoring position of the day for Grand Island. Courtesy runner made it there after the error for Papio South in the bottom of the first. Middle infield works the lead runner, Davidson, keeping him as close as they can. Here comes the 1-0. Breaking ball bounced in the dirt, picked by Serco, 1-1. Serco nice and casual with it. I don't mean that in a negative way, just made it look easy. With the backhand glove pick. Counts 1-1. 2 outs, 2 on for Grand Island in the top of the second. Scoreless ball game. Willer, high leg kick this time. There's a fastball. Washburn says, yep, that was mine. Should have had it.
1-2 count now. Circle behind the plate. I'm not sure if he's peeked over to Gorman over at first base, but Cushing is getting a pretty big secondary and is slowly going back to the bag. This is an opportunity with an open door right-handed batter. You have an opportunity to possibly put on a back pick.
Only worry would be that you're throwing behind a runner at second base, but Gorman did just break to the bag at first, probably reading what you were.
Yeah. In that situation, though, still the same thing can happen. You have a first baseman that's moving. You're expecting a back pick from the pitcher. But if you have confidence in your catcher, maybe they haven't done it a whole bunch this season. But if you've had a few back pick opportunities, I think you trust your catcher right here to make a move. Cushing over at first base probably going to be a little more hesitant now.
Willer's still ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Washburn awaits in the right-handed batter's box. Now he calls time. Willer is not afraid to make the batter participate on his timing. Your rhythm's your rhythm. If it works for you, it works for you. Willer's back on the bump, ready to bring it home. The 1-2. Swung on, laced up the middle, but right into the glove of Klinkingbeard. Had him played perfectly. Good piece from Carson Washburn. Cordell Klinkingbeard is there. He strands the pair of runners on the L4. We go to the bottom of the second. Still no score in the Class A elimination game between Grand Island and Papio South on 93.7 The Ticket.
3, 2, 1. The drop is live. Screens freeze everywhere, except yours. You've been training for this moment. And with Aloe Fiber's zero-lag precision, you strike first. No lag, no limits, just speed. Can your internet provider do that? Stay ahead of every drop. Visit aloefiber.com/all-in.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Back to more of the Class A State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket.
No score through an inning and a half at Warner Park. Austin Orman, Tristan Gomez with you. Striding to the plate first for Papillion LaVista South will be Cordell Klinkingbeard. Wearing number 2, playing second base. He squeezed the final out of the inning, kept a run off the board by ranging up the middle to his right to snare a line drive off the bat of Carson Washburn. Klinkingbeard this season, .245 batting average, hitting in the cleanup spot. First pitch fastball led her high and out, 1-0. The 12-pitch 1-2-3 first inning for Miles Nelson. Faced a 3-1 count to Matthew Gorman, but got him to fly out, line out to left. Nelson comes back with a fastball to Klinkingbeard, 1-1. Grand Island, white caps, black uniforms, white pants. Breaking ball waved at and missed by Klinkingbeard. He never saw that one. Way out in front, never had a chance to put that head on the ball. So Miles Nelson now ahead of Klinkingbeard, 1-2. Leadoff man in the bottom of the second. 1-2 brought home, breaking ball, outer edge, called strike 3. Clinking Beard in disbelief hangs his head for a moment before he exits the batter box. He's down looking.
I think Klingenbeer was thinking quite a bit there, especially on that breaking ball that he swung on right before there. Just getting a little antsy. When you're a guy that, has put together some pretty solid hits, but are kind of struggling a little bit in the state tournament, you really just want to get going. You see a pitch that you think is a fastball away, you're going to go for it. That one way out of the batter's box. And then you go to that next pitch and maybe just a little bit off, but umpire gives it the call, and Klingenbeer going back to the dugout, questioning that at bat.
So Nelson back to face Ripple. First pitch fouled off to our left, 0-1. Quickly back to work is Nelson. That fastball misses out, 1-1. Ripple, the batter. There's number 8. 245 average for him as well. He'll get credit for that one, clipping his shoe top. So Drew Ripple draws a hit by pitch, and he's going to trot down to first base. 1 out base runner for the Titans. Ball did not seem to adjust its trajectory very much, but home plate umpire said, yep, you know what? That did skim the shoe tops. Take your base.
Ripple was standing there in the box. Not sure if he thought it really hit him, but umpire must have saw something, and Ripple will gladly go down to first base. Grand Island head coach wants to come talk about it, but he'll get nothing.
I think it's a pretty simple explanation. Well, I saw it hit him.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Well, I saw it hit him.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. That brings up Tyler Andringa. He's in right for the Titans. Righty-righty matchup with Nelson. Second base runner of the day for Papio South. As Andringa swings through a fastball, Nelson jumps ahead 0-1. Without the benefit of video review, I understand why head coaches will go out and get explanations from umpires, but I've never once seen that one-on-one conversation change anyone's mind, as Nelson really fires a fastball to the backstop. Might have hit it on the fly. Right past the outstretched glove of Schroeder, who went to a dive, but couldn't get there 1-1. 390 feet for Ripple, as that ball made it all the way to the backstop. He's in scoring position with 1 out. 1-1 count to Andringa. Miles Nelson brings it home. Breaking ball low and out, smothered by Schroeder, 2-1. Runner in scoring position, keeping that ball in front of you paramount. Not much Schroeder could do about the previous fastball that went to the backstop, though. That one skips 3 feet in front of home plate. Now Andringa's ahead 3-1.
That's the first time that we've seen Nelson with a runner on, and then especially a runner in scoring position. You keep seeing him peek back at second, 1 look, 2 look. Seems just a little uncomfortable now with Ripple on 2.
Ripple not the most threatening lead, but he is still out there. 2 stations away from home. The 3-1 to Andringa, taken up and in, ball 4. Back-to-back free base runners for Papio South. Titans have 1 out in the inning, but that brings up Jackson Willer, attempting to help his own cause. Willer doing the pitching tonight. 54 at-bats for him on the year. Top half of the team, but certainly not the most. Willer, righty-righty. He's got a green bat as he conferences with his head coach down the line. Mound conference between Schroeder and Nelson is done. Umpire directs them both to their positions. So after the walk, runners on first and second with 1 out here for Willer. Pitcher versus pitcher matchup. Nelson on the bump, Willer in the box. Gets the benefit of the doubt with a fastball call, 0-1. Not sure he hit his spot, was relatively close, but got the benefit of the doubt. So the mound visit works, does its job, gets a strikeout of Nelson. Schroeder setting up outside yet again. Nelson long look back at second base. The 0-1, home plate umpire says that Willer went around 0-2. Half-hearted effort on that swing there from Willer. It was a fastball touch high, but Willer couldn't hold up according to tonight's home plate umpire. He's now down to the count 0-2. Nelson brings it home. That one bounces. Schroeder keeps it in front, 1-2. There's a hit by pitch on the shoe tops of Ripple, then a 5-pitch walk to Andringas. Nelson needs to step off and gather himself. He gets a sign from Schroeder. He's been active. Ball's in the dirt so far today. Nelson's 1-2. Breaking ball lifted to right. Coming in on it is the right fielder, Mater. No tag from the runner, Ripple at second. Good job by Ethan Mater reading that ball, getting behind it, getting back to the infield quickly.
Yeah, that was one of those that is right at him. If you're Ripple, you possibly want to push it to third, but you don't want to be the last out of the inning on third. You're already in scoring position, and you still have an opportunity to score from second.
The inning is in the hands of Caden Serco. He's the catcher. Got some words of encouragement there from his starting pitcher, Jackson Willer. Willer was in that 1-2 count, found a way to get bat on ball and make the defense make a play, which Mater did. Nelson takes a look back to Ripple at second base. He's ready to bring home the first pitch of the at-bat to Caden Serco. Ripple takes off as Serco swings and fouls one back out of play, 0-1.
I don't think a hit and run was put on there, but we always talked about this, just playing in college, is if you see a guy get a really good jump, especially from second to third, sometimes you just take it and you say, all right, he's probably going to be safe there at third. That gives me a better opportunity to score him or on a pass ball. It's something that's tough because you're in the middle of the at-bat and you don't want to just freeze on a fastball right down the middle. But if a guy can get an extra 90 feet, you kind of just let him.
Ripple got an incredible jump. He's taken off again. Now the trail runner goes as this one bounces about 10 feet up the first base line. Both runners advanced. They were off with the pitch, so give them credit for a stolen base. Coincidental breaking ball in the dirt. 1-1 now to Serco. 2 Titans in scoring position. 2 outs, bottom of the second. Both sides still looking for their first hit. Nelson ready to bring home the 1-1. Getting appealed down to first base. No swing. Serco certainly started to do it, but he held up. It brings up a 2-1 count in his favor. Nelson got through the first inning on 12 pitches. This next one will be his 20th of the second. Swung on, lifted back and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count now to Serco. Serco's just a sophomore, handling pretty diverse pitching staff in terms of the types of stuff he's being asked to handle, in terms of the velocity. I believe he's caught all 3 games so far, including last night's game. He digs back into that right-handed batter's box, says Nelson is ready to go. Nelson comes set, letter high. The 2-2, half-hearted check swing, fouled back and out of play. We'll do it again. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 runners in scoring position, 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Miles Nelson brings home that 2-2 pitch. It's a fastball way up, 3-2. Do you think they're going for elevated fastball, Tristan, or you think you just missed a spot?
I think you just missed there. I don't think that's in a 2-2 count. I guess you do have first base open, so if you do, get to this 3-2 count, unfortunately walk him, not the end of the world. Maybe going for a chase pitch there.
Here comes the full count pitch. Swung on. That one's fouled back as well. Let's run it back. Serco's maybe a little bit late on the fastball, but not by much. He's popped a couple up and foul here this at bat. Nelson's ready for the second 3-2 pitch. He kicks and fires. Cued off the end of the bat. First base coach will make the play. How about a third 3-2 pitch? Next pitch will be the 25th of the inning now for Miles Nelson. To this point, he's kept the Titans off the scoreboard. The third 3-2 offering swung on. That's lifted to the outfield. Materer measures and secures for the third out. Miles Nelson does his job, keeps the runs off the board. The Titans strand 2 in the bottom of the second. To the third we go. No score between Grand Island and Papio South. And Class A baseball on the ticket.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with E15, how about this? E15
Can help you save big at the pump.
And save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose E15, there you have them. E15, engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseE15.com to learn more.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Back to more of the Class A State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket.
Jackson Willer returns to the mound as Papillion LaVista South returns to the field. We're in the top of the third inning. No score between Grand Island and Papio South. I'm Austin Norman, here with the call of the third inning. Tristan Gomez.
Willer back out on the mound for the Titans. Had a few base runners on. He hasn't given up a hit yet, just a few hit batters as well as a few walks. But still out there. He'll face in the top of the third inning. He will face 1, 2, 3, and Orange, Schroeder, and Sack for the Islanders lineup. Well, their team is pretty confident out there. It seems like in both innings he's gotten 2 quick outs and then allowed a few base runners, but found a way to get out both of those jams. Pitch count is getting up there just a little bit. Nothing to worry about now. It's just about having a quick, clean inning. And when you get those 2 outs, find a way to get out of it. Center fielder Arns steps into the box. 0-0 delivery on the way.
This is Dolphins, the 9-hole. Oh, sorry. I'm on the wrong page. My bad.
Flipped it over. Willer's first pitch misses just outside 1-0.
Has it been a long day or something?
For you, it has. You've been here at Warner Park quite a while.
It's no excuse. Got to be better. My bad.
1-0 on the way. Swung on. Fouled down the third base line. That one go out of play. Arns flew out his first at bat to left field, put a good drive into it. Alderson had plenty of time to camp under it.
And he's playing him pretty deep to the opposite field.
1-1. Fastball misses just away. We've seen a few pitches today that maybe have clipped the outside part of the plate, have been called balls, maybe a few that were off that have been called strike threes. 2-1 now to Arns. That one swung on. Headed to the left center gap. Alderson will camp under that one for the first out of the inning.
Couple F7s now for Aarons. Right idea. That's probably the right part of the park for a leadoff guy to hit that one too. Hit it well. It just hung up there. He just got underneath it. If that's on a line, he's got extra bases.
We see a lot of high school pitchers that will attack outside, whether you're facing a righty or a lefty. Attack outside because that barrel does tend to drop often, and I think right there, that's just what happened to Arns and just got a little under it. Sam Schroeder, catcher for the Islanders, in the box now. Breaking ball there, clips the outside part of the plate, 0-1. Willer with a quick first out. He's back on the mound now. 0-1 to Schroeder. Fastball there. Middle inside. Looks like Schroeder wants that one back.
Probably used to getting a breaking ball in that count after a pitcher gets ahead with the fastball. Willer surprised him with the second one.
0-2 now. Schroeder's got a battle. Willer on the way. Swung on. Dinked into center field. Rosenthal running in on a diving play. What a snag by Donnie Rosenthal out there in center field to record the second out for the Titans.
Looking like Superman. Full extension dive from Rosenthal. What a read. What a jump. What a snag.
We were talking pregame about Rosenthal playing center field, having a guy DH for you. Your only role is to play defense. And at times you want to be in the lineup, but great play there from Rosenthal doing exactly what this team asked him to do, just playing center field today. That'll bring up Grayson Sack, second baseman for the Islanders. First pitch swinging, hits that one right off the shin. 0-1. Umpire will give Zach just a sec to make sure he's all right. He's back in the box now, doing okay. Oh, 1 now to Zach. Fastball gets the outside corner of the plate, 0-2.
Again, Willard, fastball. If you're able to locate it, that's okay. But if you're Grand Island, you got to know now he's working away no matter which hand you swing with. Don't be afraid to go that way with it.
0-2 delivery. Breaking ball called, strike 3, 2 sack, and a quick inning for Willer right there for the Titans. At the end of the top of the third, we are still at zeros as the Islanders will head back out onto the field for the bottom of the third. We'll be right back here for it on 93.7 The Ticket.
Imagine if the people who work at your bank or neighbors who could help with a home loan.
Congratulations, you're approved.
Or friends who love to shop local.
Have a good one.
At UBT, who you work with matters just as much as what you're working toward.
Hey, thanks for helping.
That's why your money has more than a banker. It has people. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket. Back to more of the Class A State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket.
Back here at Warner Park for an elimination game. Win or go home. Papio South taking on the Grand Island Islanders. To the bottom of 3 we go. Nelson still on the mound for the Islanders. He'll face the bottom of the order in Sam Dolphins, and he'll turn it up to the top of the order with Alderson on deck and Minderman in the hole. Dolphins the DH today. Steps into the box. Nelson on the way. Misses that one, low and away. Dolphins in just 2:13 on the year. Trying to get something started for his Titans in the bottom of this inning. Swung on there on a changeup. That'll make it 1-1. One on the way now. That one about 55 feet. Schroeder tried to go for the block, ends up smacking the umpire right in the chest protector. Seems to be all right, though. Schroeder, nice job checking on him. That'll make it 2-1.
Got to keep that in mind that he spiked the breaking ball a couple times now. It's one thing to want to leave it down, but if you're a hitter and you see him missing that badly with it, if you pick up that spin, you're probably more okay with sitting and watching that one as long as you don't have 2 strikes.
Yeah, we've seen Nelson miss quite a few times low into the dirt, and so that's when you just change your sights. And as a hitter, you expect a fastball to be up, and if it doesn't start up, it's probably ending in the dirt. 3-1 now on the way. Misses that fastball way outside. That's a lead-off walk for the 9-hole Sam Dolphins. That'll bring up the top of the order in Brady Alderson.
Nelson wasn't anywhere close. He'd been doing a good job being around the zone for the most part, but completely lost it there at the bottom of the order.
Brady Alderson getting the sign from head coach. Ben Bales out in the third base coach's box. Nelson comes set. Alderson squares the bunt. He'll get it down to third base. Fielded by the third baseman, throws it up to first base. Got him. But that will move Dolphins up to second base. So now with one out, you have a runner in scoring position with Griffin Minderman coming up to the bat.
Good job. Can't ask for much more than that. Get a runner to scoring position, 2 chances to get him in right here.
Runs have been tough to come by for Papio South in this state tournament. Just won yesterday. I totally understand. Although you have a 310 hitting Brady Alderson, and he's your leadoff guy, you give him an opportunity to bunt there. Possibly he beats it out, but at the end of the day, you move a guy up. Minderman up to bat now, swings at a slider way outside into the left-handed batter's box. That'll make it 0-1.
Big pull swing out of Minderman on a breaking pitch. Makes you think he was sitting on a fastball.
Dolphins with a short lead at second, 0-1 on the way. Fastball swung on out into right field. Dolphins at second looking to tag, and he will. He's headed there. Throw on the way, and Dolphins makes there safely in time. Not great contact out of Minderman right there, but does the job to get Dolphins over. Now with 2 outs to bring Gorman up to the plate with an opportunity to hit him in.
Another productive out. You move the runner. And for a guy like Nelson, whose command has been a little spotty here in this inning, you're, pass ball away, wild pitch away from scoring a run. But you're right. A couple not great swings out of Minderman here early in this one.
Swung on by Gorman. That one out into right field, and we will see the first run of this ball game. Gorman jumps on that first pitch. Ground ball out into right field. First baseman gave Ruiz 4 Grand Island. A little upset with himself. Possibly thought that the second baseman was going to get it, but had an opportunity to maybe dive for that one and stop it at least.
Nick and I saw something very similar in the second game of the day. Seward's first baseman didn't do the step into dive. Might have been able to have it. I'm not sure what Ruiz was doing. It seemed like he was not paying attention or just didn't see the ball well off the bat. Would have taken, a step and a half or 2 for him to get there, but then you're just into pitcher fielding practice, and Ruiz might have even been able to beat Gorman to the bag, but instead it shoots right on through into right field, and the Titans are on the board first.
Cordell Klinkenbeer up to bat, struck out looking in his first plate appearance. 0-0 on the way, swung on by Klinkenbeer, swings through a slider right there. During my time playing first base, we always had it slow, let it go, hot, give it a shot. So if it's a slow ground ball, the second baseman can make his way over there and you can get back to the bag, let it go. But on a one like that where I don't think second base had much of a shot for it, you got to try to make a play, at least keep it in the infield. Ruiz a little upset with himself there.
Yeah, bounced a couple times to make it through, but it was squared up pretty well. Launch angle not ideal, but that was Ruiz or nobody getting to that one.
1-1 now to Klinkenbeer. Fastball. Swung on and missed. Schroeder unable to corral that one, and that'll send Gorman up 90 feet to second base. So now with 2 strikes, Cordell Klinkenbeer with a runner in scoring position.
Really good read there by Gorman, even on a pitch that Klinkenbeer swung at and missed. To move up to scoring position here, now it only takes a single to score you.
1-2 to Klinkenbeer. Fastball up. Schroeder. Catcher liked it. Umpire did not. That'll make it 2-2. Nelson looking at second base. 2 look now. On the way home on the 2-2. Slider misses that one off the plate. Klinkenbeer in that first at-bat slung at one way out in that left-handed batter's box. Good hold off right there to make it full. Payoff pitch on the way. Swung on. Fouled up. Schroeder going for it. Looks like that one's going to end up out in the stands. Looks like a row of students right there. All of them kind of got out of the way. And he just launched the ball at a little kid. I think he was trying to do a nice gesture of giving it to a little kid and just smoked him in the back.
The usher's coming down to make sure that ball gets back to the dugout.
Yeah, you don't get to keep it here.
Yeah, it looks like young number 20 is walking it back over.
3-2 count once again to Klinkenbeer. Nelson on the way. Spikes that one, and that will be ball 4. Klinkenbeer with a nice at-bat to extend the inning for the Titans.
Really good at bat. Nelson went back to the same wells that he went to get Clinking Beard back in the second inning, but Clinking Beard learned. Better approach, better pitch selection and recognition there to put a trail runner now behind potentially the second run of the game for the Titans there at second base in the form of Gorman.
That will bring up the third baseman, Drew Ripple. He was hit by a pitch back in the second inning. Fastball called strike there. Both pitchers in this game have found ways to get 2 outs, but had a lot of ducks on the pond with 2. Breaking ball misses low there. 2 Ripple, makes it 1-1.
When you see that happen, Tristan, is it pitchers losing focus? Is it pitchers not being able to consistently execute? Is it a hat tip to the batters? When you see runners reach with 2 outs, what do you think normally goes into that?
Yeah, I think typically it is just a lack of focus, especially when you get, maybe a quick first out, maybe a quick second out, and you almost just start to coast a little bit. You say, all right, I got this. No need to focus, because obviously you don't want to let that leadoff guy on, so you're heavily focused on getting him out, and then you get 2 quick outs. You're like, all right, just get 1 more. Not that big of a deal. But another situation where with 2 outs, anything can happen, and a walk or a hit can turn into a big inning. 2-1 now to Ribble. That one will make its way to the backstop, and that will move both runners up 90 feet. Gorman on second now. Gorman on third. Clinkenbeer on second. Now 3-1 to Drew Ripple with an opportunity to score 2 on a hit. Clinkenbeer checking his outfield at second base, seeing where they're playing. 3-1 on the way. Swung on, fouled straight back by Drew Ripple. That'll bring up a full count.
Got the fastball he wanted. Just couldn't get the barrel all the way to it.
Nelson now trying to limit the damage to just 1 in the bottom of this third. Full count on the way. Swung on. Lazy fly ball out into left field. Multiple guys going for it. No one able to get it. That ball just foul. Seemed like it was just out of reach in that Bermuda Triangle between left field, shortstop, and third baseman.
It'd be Washburn, Ruther, and then at shortstop, Brock Cushing. You all got close. Looked like Cushing had the best beat on it. Ruther started a little bit closer there at third base, but Cushing just not quite quick enough to get over there and just beyond the reach of both Ruther and Washburn. Really long run.
So we'll do it all again. Full count once again to Ripple. Nelson on the way. Swung on to third base. Fielded cleanly. Throw over to first. Unable to scoop it up is Ruiz at first base. That one rolls away. That'll score 2 for the Titans.
Physical error there on Ruther on the throw, maybe a mental error. As he collected that ball, the runner was just about to cross his path. Might have been able to pick it up quickly, reach out and tag, but you could tell the runner crossing into his line of sight, getting into his vision, affected him on the throw. Felt like he had to rush it, left it low. Ruiz was unable to scoop it.
Yeah, in that situation, Clinkenbeard, I think, just expected that this is a routine play. If he goes to first base and doesn't have anything to worry about, he's probably good. But Clinkenbeard, going from second to third base, found a way into Ruther's eyesight. And I think Ruther started to rush a little bit or second-guess himself of, oh, gosh, do I just try to tag him? But if you're unable to get the tag, then that's a safe base run at first. Understood that he probably should go over to first. And Ruiz kind of caught on his heels. Was a little bit of a long hop, but you usually don't work on those too much at this level.
Hard to simulate.
And so that will result in 2 more runs on the air by Ruther. Makes it 3-0, Titans lead. And Ripple on the air makes his way to second base. So Titans with a runner in scoring position once again.
Costlier extending the inning and adding 2 more runs to the tally.
That will bring Tyler Andriga to the plate. Runner on second. That pitch misses low from Nelson. just had a meeting at the mound for the Islanders. Trying to get everyone just to take a deep breath. Got 2 outs, just need 1 more. 1-0 to Andringa. That one misses low as well.
Schroeder a little slow to get up there out of the squat behind the plate. Looked like he was dealing with a thumb or a wrist issue of some sort on his left hand yesterday. You can tell when he's in discomfort.
Nelson 2-0 on the way, swung on. Swing and a miss. That one gets right by Schroeder. Not sure how that got past him. Unable to catch that one, and that moves Drew Ripple up another 90 feet to put him on third base.
Swing and a miss through the 5-hole. Not often you see that one. But again, a costly mistake there from Schroeder. If you're in pain, you got to let your team know. Know you're a senior. I know you're trying to gut it out in what could be your final game. But the more you give teams free 90 feet because you can't get down or you don't trust your glove hand to flip over and block it, you're not doing your team any favors.
2-1 now. That one called a strike to Andringa. That'll make it 2-2. Nelson trying to make it out of this long third inning. 2-2 on the way to Andringa. Breaking ball misses just low. That'll make it a full count once again. Lots of full counts from Nelson in this inning.
Full counts to 2 of the last 3 batters. First batter of the inning went 3-1, as did Ripple before the error.
Full count on the way. That one misses low and away. And another walk by Nelson. That'll put Tyler Andringa on first base. Titans with first and third with 2 outs. Little bit of movement out there in that Islanders bullpen. Jackson Willer, pitcher for the Titans, at the plate now, trying to help his cause with a big 2-out hit. Breaking ball swung on to the right side. That one just foul. A little bit of a blooper there that would have added another run for the Titans. Willer will make his way back to the box, picking up his own bat.
Right idea. Pitch on the outer half, take it that way. The natural tail of the ball off the bat of a righty, as well as the wind. We're going to keep pushing that one toward the line. I'm not sure that Andringa could have come all the way around to score. He would have at least gotten to third, and would have been interesting to see what the decision was from Coach Bales.
0-1 on the way to Willer. Fastball late there, fouled down that first base line into the stands. 0-2 now to Willer, trying to extend this inning for the Titans. Nelson looking over at first base. Andringa just jogging his way to second base. Nelson's just going to let him go all the way to second base. Andringa got a huge lead there. Wanted Nelson to step off and, draw a throw, see if you can possibly find a way to get Ripple to score from third in a little bit of a rundown, and Nelson played no part into that. 0-2 on the way. That one fouled back once again. Austin, in that situation, I get it. You're down 3. You don't want that guy on third to score, but that's a free out.
Oh, but
you at least,
even in high school baseball, I mean, rundowns, you get the out 95% of the time, but instead you can see the base.
0-2 once again. That one swung on into left field, camped under it, and that will be the final out of the inning, but not before. Papio South has their first runs of the game. They make it 3-0 in the bottom of the third. To the top of the fourth we go here on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on making the most craveable chicken finger meals, getting them right every time. That's why we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, salt every fry, squeeze every lemon, and brew every ounce. We do this inside every Raising Cane's, every day, because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Back to more of the Class A State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome back to Warner Park for the nightcap on this day of state tournament baseball. In the bottom of the third, the Papillion LaVista South Titans put the first runs on the board with a 3 spot, coming off a base hit from Matthew Gorman. And then an error by Ruther of the Islanders at third base. That added on 2 more for 3-0. Willard back out on the mound for Papillion LaVista South. He'll face first baseman Gabe Ruiz. Interesting inning there. Few mishaps from the Islanders. Could have possibly turned into a much bigger inning for the Titans. Only ends up at 3. First pitch on the way to Ruiz. Breaking ball, misses that one up and inside. Ruiz struck out his first at bat. 1-0 on the way now. Fastball paints the inside corner, make it 1-1. For Grand Island here, still a lot of game left. You still have plenty of opportunity, plenty of outs to find your way back into this game, but the momentum's all in Papio South's dugout right now. How do you settle back in?
It's going to take someone to break the cycle. Still looking for your first hit, not your first base runner. Ruiz waves and misses at a breaking ball there. You had Schroeder reach on an error. Davidson draw a walk, Cushing get a hit by pitch. You haven't really done anything yourself. I'm not saying someone needs to go Superman, take the game into their hands, but I'd like to see what a nice measly single could do for the Islanders' confidence.
1-2 on the way to Gabe Ruiz. That one swung on, dinked into right field. Camped under it there is Tyler Andriga to record the first out for the Titans.
To that point, Tristan, it's been a lot in the air. Schroeder had the ground ball that led to an error. Grayson Sack grounded out. Other than that, it's been fly out, line out, fly out outside of strikeouts. Getting under it. Got to find a way to get on top, make line drive contact.
Ethan Mader in the box now for Grand Island. Lazy swing there. That one on the ground, picked up by Willard. He'll toss it over to Gorman at first base for the second out of the inning. Not very competitive swing from Ethan Mader right there. You did kind of jinx it, though. We saw a whole bunch of balls in the air, and then we do get one on the ground. Not with a very high exit velo, though.
No, Mader way out in front of that one, really drug both arms in the bat head through the zone. Not a pretty swing. Looked like Willer had him fooled. And still nearly worked out for him. That was a nice athletic play by Willer to fall off to that first base side, find a way to go get that ball.
That will bring up the third baseman, Gavin Ruther, for the Islanders. Willer with 2 quick outs, trying to get his team back into the dugout. 0-0 on the way. That one swung on. Dropped by the shortstop on the liner. He tries to go back to first. He will not throw it over there. Minderman took a step to the right. Ball had a little bit of a spin on it back left. Unable to catch that line drive. We'll see what they mark that one is.
Goes down as an error. Second one on Minderman today, which I think makes sense. Minderman saw that going to the pull side, but it was off the end of the bat. So it started that direction, had some wicked tail on it, and Minderman, by the time he realized it was already in the air, all he could do was stretch his arm out. Knocked it down, kept it on the infield, but there's a base runner anyways.
Minderman looked a little sped up right there on that spin and line drive. That will bring up Brody Davidson, the DH. First pitch to him misses low and in. Makes it 1-0. Great opportunity for the Titans right there to get back into the dugout and get the bats going once again. And now, unfortunately for the Titans, this adds to Willer's pitch count. That's grown just a little bit. 1-0 on the way. That breaking ball misses low.
To the pitch count point, he's still under 60 pitches. There's 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. And then typically as a pitcher, you're shooting to get out of an inning in 15 pitches. So he's right on pace, essentially, for what you would typically expect.
2-0 now to Brody Davidson of the Islanders. Gavin Ruther on first base. Willard checking over to first. On the way home now. That one swung on to second base. Klinkenbeard, he will toss it over to Minderman, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning. A shutdown inning for Willer of the Titans. That will bring us to the bottom of the 4th. At the bottom of the 4th, it is 3-0. Papio South leads, and this one we'll have it here on 93.7 The Ticket.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with E15, how about this? E15
can help you save big at the pump.
And save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose E15, there you have them. E15, engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseE15.com to learn more.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Back to more of the Class A State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome back. Grand Island, Papio South here at Warner Park for the final game of the day. 3-0 Titans lead. Miles Nelson still on the bump for the Islanders after a long bottom of the 3rd inning. He's back out for the bottom of the 4th. He will face 8-9-1 in this order for the Titans. Caden Circo, sophomore catcher, up at the plate now. Circo steps into the box. He flew out to right field his previous at-bat. Hits a little dinker right there. Second baseman camps under that one for the 1st out of this inning. Quick out for Miles Nelson, and after a long inning like the bottom of the 3rd, that's exactly what you want.
I had Nelson at over 30 pitches in that one, giving up those 3 runs. So to get 1 pitch to record 1 out, that goes a long way. There are some bodies in that Grand Island bullpen there beyond center field. They've been there since the Mound Conference last inning.
Sam Dolphins now at the plate. That one misses low. Schroeder, catcher for the Islanders, looks pretty shaken up on that one.
Anything low that he has to go side to side for, he just hasn't looked comfortable at all the last couple days.
1-0 now to Dolphins. That one swung on, sailing into that left center gap. Left fielder will camp under that one. That is Carson Washburn to record the 2nd out of the inning.
Really good route by Washburn. That ball tailing away from the center fielder. He was there on a line.
2 quick outs for Miles Nelson. He will now face Brady Alderson, leadoff hitter, in this Titans lineup. Alderson flew out to center field in the 1st inning, then laid down a beautiful sac bunt back in the 3rd. 0-0 on the way. Fastball there, misses outside. One-0 now to Alderson. That one swung on. Fielded cleanly by the shortstop, running to his left. Sends it over there. Nice catch by Gabe Ruiz, and that will be the final out of the inning. After a long bottom of the 3rd for the Titans, a quick, just few pitch inning for Miles Nelson in that bottom of the 4th to keep it here at 3-0. We head to the 5th. It is 3-0. Titans lead Grand Island here on the Ticket.
Nebraska is changing, and the decisions we make today will define what's next. The Nebraska Chamber Foundation has uncovered powerful insights about our state's strengths and opportunities. But this data only matters when it leads to action. That's why we've launched Go Big Future, a campaign to put these insights into the hands of leaders, communities, and decision makers across this great state. Our future won't just happen by accident. We must build it together. Visit gobigfuture.com to learn more.
Attention, Nebraska sports fans. Are you ready to take your skills to the next level? The Army National Guard is looking for leaders who are dedicated, driven, and ready to make a difference. Join up and gain invaluable experience while serving your country with a flexible schedule, competitive benefits, and a chance to build a strong future. Learn more at nationalguard.com/Nebraska. Live here, serve here. The Nebraska Army National Guard. Guard the good life.
Back to more of the Class A State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket.
Jackson Willard back out on the mound for the Papio South Titans. Going into his 5th inning of work here. Throw down to second here. And in this top of the 5th inning, he will face Brock Cushing, Carson Washburn, and bring it back to the top of the order in Ian Arns. Brock Cushing hit by pitch in his first at bat, shortstop for the Islanders. Islanders still struggling to get much going in this game so far. Had a few base runners only off of errors and hit by pitches, it seems like. Brock Cushing steps into the box now. Wheeler on the way. Fastball misses away there. In the middle of the inning, few Titans head out there to the bullpen. Not much movement out there yet, just a little bit of stretching, but still just spectating. Jackson Wheeler out there on the mound. 1-0 on the way to Cushing. Breaking ball misses low in the dirt.
Don't forget, winner of this one tonight has to beat Lincoln East twice tomorrow to go play for a title.
Which is why we might possibly see both of these pitchers. You know, we saw Nelson struggle a little bit in that bottom of the 3rd, but he goes back out there. You're trying to keep as much pitching as possible because if you do win, you need to win too, and you need all the pitching you can possibly have.
That's the tough part about being in this situation. Why you like being in that driver's seat at 2-0 is that as much as you want to think about tomorrow and plan as best you can, you got to get there first.
Breaking ball slides in there for a strike, makes it 2-1 to Cushing. Another breaking ball. Slides right in there on the inside part of the plate. 2-2 count now to Cushing. Hasn't taken a swing in this at-bat yet. Two on the way from Willer. Swung on. Drove down the left side. That will head into the stands foul. Count will stay at 2-2.
In terms of the approach for Grand Island right now, Willer just threw his 60th pitch through 4+ innings now with this batter. They're not jumping on anything early, and they haven't really extended at bats and made Willer work to where they get a good read for what his stuff looks like.
2-2 once again on the way to Cushing. Fastball. That one misses just up above the zone. That'll make the count full. Great eye there from Cushing. Maybe one of those that you possibly take a hack at to fight off. Don't want to leave it in the umpire's hands. Gets the benefit of the doubt there. Full count. Full count on the way. Long windup from Willer. Called strike 3 to Brock Cushing. Titans will throw that one out of the horn. Willer painted the outside corner right there.
Heck of a pitch. Cushing got away with watching one at the upper part of the zone go by. Not as fortunate to watch 2 go by. Ends up as a 6-pitch at bat. He was only the second Islander to face 6 pitches in an at bat here tonight.
With 1 out, that brings up left fielder Carson Washburn of the Islanders. Willer on the way. Fastball called strike 1. Washburn had an opportunity back in the second with 2 runners on to possibly do some damage. Hit a line drive right over to Klinkenbeard at second. Got the Islander fans excited just for a little bit until they saw the trajectory was right towards Cordell Klinkenbeard. 0-1 on the way. That one swung on. Minderman runs over to it. He snags that one. Lazy line drive over to Griffin Minderman. He's able to catch that one for the second out. Joking over there at shortstop that he actually caught that one.
Second time Washburn's done just that. Sounds okay off the bat, but just kind of loops over there as a line drive. Not placed where he wants it to be. Not completely squared up, but good enough contact that, you'd like to think that the expected batting average on that is, closer to 350, 400 than the zero that he's hitting tonight.
That brings up Ian Arns, leadoff hitter for the Islanders. That first pitch misses outside. 2 outs now for this Islanders lineup, trying to get something going. (1-0) on the way to Aarons. Big swing there from Aarons, unable to connect with that one. That'll make the count 1-1.
Got the fastball he was looking for, but opened way up. Might have overswung as well, right? It's not about trying less. It's about trying easier, not overswinging, making sure you keep your head down.
One of those ones that looks good out of the hand, and you're already trying to watch it go over the right field wall. That one swung on and fouled off the catcher, rolls back to the on deck. That'll make it 1-2. Arns in a little bit of a hole now.
He's way out in front. Way out in front.
Willard going through his long windup now. 1-2 on the way. Fastball swung on, strike 3, and that will end it in the top of the 5th inning for the Islanders. Jackson Willard goes 1-2-3 and sends his Titans back to the dugout with a 3-0 lead here at Warner Park. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th here on 93.7 The Ticket.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with E15, how about this? E15
can help you save big at the pump
and save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose E15, there you have them. E15, engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseE15.com to learn more.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Back to more of the Class A State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome back to Warner Park, where we go to the bottom of the 5th. Titans back up to bat with a 3-0 lead. It will be 2-3-4, Minderman, Gorman, and Klinkenbeard for the Titans. Trying to extend this lead, add on some insurance. Miles Nelson still out there for the Islanders. Minderman in the box now. Swings at that first pitch, fouls that one straight back. 0-1.
Just a 5-pitch 4th inning for Miles Nelson. He battled through that 3rd inning where he gave up some runs, limited damage, and he's back out there now after the 5-pitch inning.
That one swung on, rolled foul, just foul down the third base line. That'll make it 0-2 for Minderman. Nelson trying to get back on track here after that 30-plus pitch 3rd inning with a quick inning in the last one. Now up 0-2 against Minderman. 0-2 on the way. That breaking ball misses outside into the left-handed batter's box. Nelson right back up there on the mound, 1-2. On the way. Fastball misses just outside, 2-2.
Schroeder tried to yank that one back into the zone. Couldn't do it. That was in the left-handed batter's box. Couldn't frame it quite well enough.
2-2 on the way. That one swung on and missed.
The umpire signaled safe.
The umpire said safe.
Which would,
swing and a miss.
Which would say
saying
no
he's
catch,
out.
so he's got to throw down to first to complete it then, except that Minderman's turned around.
Interesting play there. It was swung and missed on by Minderman. Umpire said that Schroeder, the catcher, did not catch it, and so it was a drop third strike, and Minderman kind of just stood there, and Schroeder was looking to throw it down to first base, and then it looked like an old Mexican standoff. They were all just standing there.
Saw that on the defensive indifference, essentially, that it turned into with runners at first and third for Papio South. In that situation there, Tristan, if the umpire signals safe, what's got to happen is the catcher's got to throw down to first to complete the play. Minderman, for whatever reason, just stood there, didn't take off and run, and then started walking back toward the dugout like he gave himself up.
The interesting part, too, was that Minderman was kind of just standing there right next to Schroeder, and Schroeder never even reached over just to tag him. He was always just looking, asking the umpire, do I need to throw this to first, when he could have just checked and tagged him. Minderman made his way back to the dugout then, and that's when umpire called him out. So strikeout by Minderman. Gorman steps up to the plate now. First pitch swinging a beauty. A line drive straight back up the middle into center field. That is the second hit of the day for first baseman Matthew Gorman.
Nice piece hit and got a fastball. First pitch, didn't miss it. Right back up the box. He's on with the one-out single. Good chance for Papio South here to try to extend the lead. Gorman runs okay. If you're going to steal him, probably more of a hit-and-run candidate than a straight steal candidate. But with Schroeder a little gimpy behind the dish, anything in the dirt, Gorman might want to get a ball dirt read.
Clinking Beard up to bat now. Skies that one out into left field. Camped under it is Carson Washburn. He will catch that one, and Gorman will jog his way back to first base. Back-to-back first pitch swinging for the Titans. Gorman with a beauty of a line drive right back up the middle. Clinking Beard just under that one. Frustrated, heading back to the dugout. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Drew Ripple. Ripple hit by pitch in the second, and then back in the third, he was the one that hit ground ball over to Ruther with 2 outs. That resulted in an error and scored 2 for the Titans. 0-0 on the way to Ripple now. He'll take that one outside. Gorman on first. 1-0 to Ripple. That one misses low into the dirt. Nice block there by Schroeder. Miles Nelson trying to get out of this inning after giving up the hit to Gorman. Keep this deficit to 3 for the Islanders. 2-0 on the way. That one misses low. It'll be 3-0 to Drew Ripple.
Grand Island coaching staff, pretty much all of them, are at the top of the dugout. Would not be surprised if with a walk here, Nelson at least gets a visit, if not pulled.
3-0 on the way. That one called strike. Fastball, middle outside part of the plate. 3-1 now to Drew Ripple. Looking for his pitch here. Trying to extend this inning. Gorman goes. Called strike. Throw down to second. Sails past the shortstop. Almost gets out into center field. Thankfully, Grayson Sack was out there backing it up. Umpire took just a sec to call that one a strike, but I still thought it was reasonable time. I'm not sure if shortstop Brock Cushing out there thought that maybe it was called ball 4, but 3-2 now on the way. That one swung on to left center. And Washburn is there to make the snag. So no harm, no foul on the stolen base from Gorman. And another clean inning for Miles Nelson trying to continue his outing out there on the mound. That brings us to the 6th inning. We're heading into the 6th. That is Titans 3, Grand Island 0. We'll be back here on the Ticket.
Imagine if the people who work at your bank or neighbors who could help with a home loan.
Congratulations. You're approved.
Or friends who love to shop local.
Have a good one.
At UBT, who you work with matters just as much as what you're working toward.
Hey, thanks for helping.
That's why your money has more than a banker. It has people. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Back to more of the Class A State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome back to Warner Park, where we head to the 6th inning in this win or go home matchup between the Papillion LaVista South Titans and the Grand Island Islanders. Papillion South leading right now going into the top of the 6th, 3-2-0, and Austin Norman will have the call for the 6th.
Thank you very much, Tristan. Willard about to get it working here in the top of the 6th. 68 pitches through 5 complete innings for the righty. He's a senior, pitching in his final state tournament, as long as the NSAA doesn't pass the same eligibility rules as the NCAA has. Up to bat will be 2-3-4 for the Islanders, Schroeder, Sack, and Ruiz. You'd think if there'd be any time to get a rally going here in the late innings, you're at a good spot in the order to do it. Schroeder today was the first base runner for the Islanders, yanked a ground ball to Minderman that he booted, so Schroeder reached first base on an error. He's also flown out to center. Righty-righty matchup. Willer's ready to bring home the first pitch of the 6th. Fastball out, 1-0. Grand Island had Schroeder reach on an error, Brock Cushing get hit by a pitch, Brody Davidson draw a walk, and Gavin Ruther reach on an error. Those have been the base runners so far. Willer into the wind. Pitch swung on and missed by Schroeder. Breaking ball down on a 1-0 count, 1-1.
Willer's really settled in here. He's had a few base runners, as you said, but nothing that's really been too dangerous for him. And it seems like whenever the Titans have needed a big out, he's got it for him.
The walk and the hit by pitch put a runner in scoring position back in the second. It's the only time they've gotten a runner that far. Schroeder takes a fastball in, 2-1. Papillion South fans disagree with that call, but did look to run in on the hands of Schroeder from our vantage. 3-0 Titans over the Islanders. Willer's ready with the 2-1. Here it comes. Breaking ball down and out, 3-1.
In this situation, you have a 3-0 lead. You're in the driver's seat as of now, but you always talked about it as a leadoff walk. Another one of those cardinal sins in baseball, because you give a free pass, momentum slowly starts to shift to the other side.
Willer's 3-1. There it is. Pretty good fastball on the outer edge. Did not get the call, so it is that leadoff walk. Schroeder is aboard. I would guess we'll see a courtesy runner enter for him, at least at some point. So it normally happens. No, they'll leave Schroeder out there for the time being. He's aboard with a leadoff walk, bringing up Grayson Sack, who's grounded to second and struck out looking here today. Another righty-righty matchup. Willer comes set, and more than happy to hold this position for 5+ seconds. Slide step brings him a breaking ball. Got Sack reaching, 0-1. Schroeder, a good athlete. Not sure how likely of a candidate he is to attempt to rip off second base, especially down to the final 6 outs, trailing by 3. Willer got Sack reaching out for the breaking ball to jump ahead 0-1. He's ready with the next pitch. Couple head twitches as he checks over to first. Now brings home a fastball. As Sack lifts this one to right. Right fielder started in, but retreating to make the catch is Tyler Andringa. Couple steps in, couple steps back, right to where he started, but Andringa secures the line out for the first out of the frame.
Good piece of hitting there from Zach. Squared up ball just directly at Andringa. I'm curious, Austin, when you were playing, do you ever have those situations where you have a pitcher like Willer on the mound? Will take a lot of time, in the stretch, but you don't want to do it where you're a little afraid to call time as soon as he starts his windup and then you're trying to get back into the box. I wonder if Grand Island's having any of those thoughts right now.
Well, we saw that with Cushing, who attempted to call time and step out after a long pause. Time was not granted as Ruiz swings over a breaking ball. He's down in the count 0-1. Certainly had the guys that would take their time getting back on the mound, would mill around and get their steps in, but certainly no one that's pressed the pause button like Willer has and done it consistently. Maybe that's just his natural rhythm, natural timing. Willer's ahead of Ruiz, 0-1. Fastball swung on, lifted again in the air. Headed to right center field. Rosenthal ranges in front of his right fielder, Andringa, to make the catch, 2 away. Good communication out there in the outfield by Rosenthal, who had a beat on that ball. Wind pretty much at a standstill, so that one only tailed that way because of the natural spin off the bat of Ruiz. Grand Island now in danger of wasting the leadoff walk.
Rosenthal, a good athlete out there.
He can fly. Kid can run. Here's Ethan Mater. He's 0 for 2. He's struck out and tapped back to the pitcher. Mater awaits the pitch in the left-handed batter's box with Schroeder still on first. Now Mater will step out and call time. Willer not exactly working quickly even after time is called. A lot of pitchers will just quickly disengage with that back foot, step back on, and be ready to go as soon as they're given the green light. Not Willer. He'll still take his time and peek over to first. Mater calls time again. Each pitcher has their own natural rhythm and cadence, but there have been a couple times tonight, Tristan, where I wonder if Grand Island isn't hoping for a delay a game flag. Mater takes his sweet time. Another long pause brings home slide step fastball. Mater a foul tip into the glove of Serco, 0-1. Whatever you got to do to throw off a hitter's timing. But also don't be afraid to keep the game moving. It's your job to facilitate the action. Willer ready to go with the 0-1. Fastball trails away outside, 1-1.
I do have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with it because as a hitter, I'll be honest, it is a little uncomfortable when you're getting there in the box, you're ready, a guy's set, he's taken 5+ seconds to deliver the pitch. And so it works out for Willer a little bit, but also you have a defense behind you that you don't want to get cold, you don't want to lose focus. And I always loved on the defensive end is having a pitcher that just likes go, go, go.
Schroeder's dancing off first base as Mater takes a fastball over the outer edge for a strike. He's now down in the count 1-2. It's one thing if it would take Willer and Serco some time to get on the same page with the pitch they're throwing, but it's when Willer comes set, and then it's the long pause that certainly throws hitters off. He gets set pretty quick, and then he'll take his time deciding when he wants to bring it home. He's ahead of Mater 1-2. 2 outs, top of the 6th. Mater got that one off the fists. Out to field it is Klinkingbeard, but the first baseman, Gorman, dropped the ball. Klinkingbeard made a nice charging play, was going to be close at first. The throw beat Mater by, call it 3/4 of a step, and just popped out of Gorman's glove. Unforced error, E3 Mater reaches, so the inning stays alive.
Looked like Gorman just was ready to start sprinting back to the dugout there. There was really no rate. Looked like a decent throw right at his numbers and seemed like he was just trying to come off the bat quick and head back to the dugout and forgot to secure it.
Now Willer's got to deal with Gavin Ruther. Ruther's flown to center and reached on an error. Willer's first pitch over the heart, 1-0-1. Ruther had that funky line drive that got Minderman up in the air that tailed away from him back towards center field that he ended up dropping for a second error of the day. 3 errors and 3 runs for Papio South. Grand Island still has not gotten on base of their own accord. They've been gifted all their runners. Willer to Ruther. Fastball up and out, 1-1. Gavin Ruther wears number 10. He bats right-handed for Grand Island. His batting average entering the state tournament, a blistering .392. Gives the bat a little waggle as he's in the right-handed batter's box. Now Willer will step off. No courtesy runner there for Schroeder at second base. Slightly surprised by that fact. He is a good athlete, of course, there behind the dish, but he was already courtesy ran for back in the first inning. So Willer's set. It's a 1-1 count to Ruther. Top of the sixth inning, 2 outs. Schroeder at second. Trail runner at first. Ruther drops that back shoulder, skies one out in foul territory. Serco gives it a run. It hits the top of the padding in the field of play, and Serco didn't get a glove on it. Ruther stays alive at 1-2. A lot of barrels dropping right now for Grand Island.
Yeah, I mean, you said it earlier, as we've seen a lot of lazy fly balls into the outfield, a few pop-ups. Just got to keep that top hand a little bit stronger, especially when you know that Willer's going to be attacking outside.
It's not like Grand Island's played 3 games in 3 days. They had a weekend off after playing on Friday. So games on back-to-back days, which is not necessarily uncommon. Willer, high step, brings it home. Ruther watches a fastball. The entirety of the Papio South team took a couple steps toward the dugout, but Willer did not get the call on the outer edge. The count's even, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Saw the whole infield in sync right there, making their way back out to the third base dugout for the Titans. Willer did a little bit of a higher leg kick. Schroeder on second actually went back to the bag, expecting a leg over. I wonder if that also maybe caught the umpire off guard.
Could be. Willer's ready with the 2-2. Long look to Schroeder at second base. He's staring daggers at him. The 2-2 fouled right back to the screen. We'll do it again. Nick was telling me that there was a foul ball that would have taken my head off in the first game, except he had the window only open as far as I do right now, so it didn't sneak into the booth. Ruther needs a moment here. Now he's ready to get back in the box. Willer's been waiting at top of the hill. He comes set. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the sixth. Runners on first and second, a 3-0 game. 2-2 swung on, hit through the left side. Schroeder's going to get the wave. Schroeder's halfway home. Relay not in time. Sam Schroeder crosses home plate, and it's Gavin Ruther who comes through to get Grand Island on the board. An RBI single to left, and the inning continues for Grand Island, who now trails 3-1.
Error there on Gorman, comes back to bite the Titans. Head coach Ben Bales will make his way out to the mound to talk to his Titans infield. And Jackson Willer out there. Gorman looks to be beating himself just a little bit after that error. First hit of the day for the Islanders there. Willer was absolutely cooking. Only base runners allowed came on errors. Walks are hit by pitches. And right there, Gavin Ruther finds a way to get the Islanders back into this ball game and on the board.
Situation remains the same. 2 outs in the inning. Runners on first and second. 1 run on that hit and 1 error for Grand Island. 3 runs on 2 hits and 3 errors for the Titans. Action in both bullpens. Players getting loose, getting warm. Some throwing going on, not just stretching and bands anymore. It'll be up to Brody Davidson to keep the inning going for Grand Island. He's walked and grounded into a fielder's choice. So Gavin Ruther serves an RBI single into left for the first hit of the day that scores the first run for Grand Island. Trail runner at first is Ruther. Lead runner is Mater. Both guys with enough speed. First pitch to Davidson, line down the right field line, twisting foul, 0-1. Davidson expected fastball out of that conference. Just a little bit late on a fastball that was on the upper outer portion of the zone. Willer brings that left foot in to come set. He's set below the belt. Couple looks at second base. Trying to keep Made her close. Davidson reaching for that one. Flared down the right field line. It's going to fall harmlessly to the dirt. Now Willer's way up, 0-2. Schroeder drew a walk to start the inning, so the free pass is the runner that comes around to score. After a line out to right and a fly out to center, Mater reached on an error. Gorman just dropped the ball on what would have been a nice play by Klinkingbeard. Good play to get to the ball, throw across his body accurately. But Gorman dropped it. That led to the Gavin Ruther RBI single. Now Brody Davidson's down in the count 0-2 as Jackson Willer has him on the ropes. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. Davidson chased a fastball up above his head. Tried to tomahawk chop it, but couldn't climb the ladder quite that far. Jackson Willer limits the damage. Papio South comes to bat in the bottom of the sixth, leading 3-1 next on the ticket.
Attention, Nebraska sports fans. Are you ready to take your skills to the next level? The Army National Guard is looking for leaders who are dedicated, driven, and ready to make a difference. Join up and gain invaluable experience while serving your country with a flexible schedule, competitive benefits, and a chance to build a strong future. Learn more at nationalguard.com/Nebraska. Live here, serve here. The Nebraska Army National Guard. Guard the good life. If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Back to more of the Class A State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket.
New arm on the hill for Grand Island in the form of Blake Casper. Casper wears number 18. He factored in yesterday's game. He closed out the final 2 innings of that win for Grand Island. Took extra innings for the Islanders to knock Lincoln Southwest out of the tournament. Grayson Sack went 6 strong innings, 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, a walk, 2 earned runs. Casper, 2 perfect innings, no walks, no hits. He struck out a pair. Gets the ball a second day in a row. He'll deal with the middle bottom of the order here. It'll be Andringa, Willer, and Serco. So Blake Casper, tall righty, fires one in for a strike to start the inning, 0-1. Miles Nelson, 5 strong innings, 3 runs, did all he could to keep Grand Island in the game as Casper misses low with a fastball, 1-1. The hope for Grand Island is that they can rely on Casper in the 6th and the 7th innings, but the Islanders will only have 3 outs to work with, trailing by at least 2. Casper's having some issues with PitchCom, it appears. He and Schroeder not on the same page. He had to step off and get some verbal communication right now from his catcher. PitchCom, of course, being used here at Warner Park for these games. Definitely not in use everywhere across the state, but fun little perk of the state tournament. These guys that'll be headed off to college, and who knows, with the talent that we see here in classes A, B, and C in baseball, perhaps even beyond the college ranks. Casper misses high with a fastball, 2-1.
Speaking of Grand Island, watching them play right now, can you name 2 guys I think in the most recent years that were Huskers, one of them now in the Braves organization?
Shea Shanneman from Grand Island, wasn't he? Yep.
And another Husker that
I think of like Cole Evans was from Grand Island?
Yep.
Okay. Look at me. I know things sometimes. Casper forgot how to throw a strike late in that at bat. 3 straight balls, and Andringa trots down to first base. He draws his 3rd walk of the day. Still no official at bats for the right fielder, but he's aboard for a 3rd time. Leadoff walk issued, bringing up Jackson Willer. He would be the pitcher of record for Papio South. Willard today has flown out to each corner outfielder. He'll square to bunt, pulls back, so he takes a fastball off the plate, but called a strike, 0-1.
My sophomore year, I remember, crazy enough, playing here at Warner in the first game of the night of the 4 o'clock game was Elkhorn South versus us. We played Elkhorn South, and it was Colby Gomez on the bump.
I've heard of that guy. What a bunt by Willard. What poor communication by Grand Island.
Colby Gomez on the bump for Millard West. Jake Buns on the bump for Elkhorn South. And then the following game was Grand Island versus Millard South. And it was Shea Shanneman on the bump against Kyle Perry for Millard South. So just two games in a row, all 4 guys end up as Huskers.
That's crazy. That's incredible. Speaks to the depth of in-state talent. After the bunt single, Willer will be relieved on the base paths by Luke Dolphin, sophomore outfielder. So Dolphins in as they're under first base. First 2 batters have reached here in the bottom of the 6th. Grand Island head coach Kirby Wells will take a jaunt out to the mound. The bunt wasn't a perfect one. Casper just kind of stood there, didn't exactly hop off the mound with much urgency. Ruther was the one charging from third base. It was definitely closer to Casper, who ended up being the one to pick it up. Never even made a throw to first.
Yeah, I think if you're Ruther right now, your job right there, there's no runner on second. Your job is to attack the bunt, make the play, especially you have the momentum fielding and going to first. I think Casper probably could if his first reaction was to go. I think he expected Ruther to, and I think Ruther expected Casper to pick it up. But if you're the third baseman in that situation, you got to want the ball, especially when you know that a sac bunt is most likely coming. In that situation, go attack it. You believe you're a better athlete than who's ever on the mound. Go make that play.
That bunt single goes as the 3rd hit of the day for the Titans, who lead at 3-1, but they're threatening. Squaring to bunt now is Caden Serco. Made contact, but tapped it foul, 0-1. With only 3 outs to go, I understand the strategy from Coach Bales down there at third base. Can we scratch across 1 or maybe 2 more for any sort of insurance? Grand Island has had a few runners on sprinkled throughout the game, but their biggest threat was just last inning. They push 1 across and leave 2 stranded. Early square from Serco as Casper thought about the inside move as the shortstop Cushing and the entire infielder running the wheel. So the second baseman is headed over there to cover. That's Grayson Sack. So there is still pickoff opportunity despite the shortstop being way deep in the hole by the time Casper's turned around. 0-1 the count. Serco continues to square to bunt. Both corners are way close. Serco reaches far out. Here is Ruther taking command of that bunt. Picked at first base for a moment. Dropped and gathered in time by Sack. So Serco does the job. Not a clean pick at first there by Sack, but quick reaction to pick it up with Serco barreling down the line.
I do think that was the right call there, but wow, that was bang, bang. And we've seen quite a few errors already in this game. That one would have been detrimental to the Islanders finding a way to get an out right there. And now with runners on second and third, infield's going to come in. And then you're also going for a strikeout here. I think this is one of those situations where, you have first base open. You are facing Sam Dolphins, who is the 9-hole, so maybe you attack him a little bit. But a walk here isn't the worst thing. Then you get a forced out at home. But this is when you want your strikeout stuff out there on the mound.
Not sure what the conversation is here with Coach Wells. Looks like he's looking for an explanation for something. Never saw him point anywhere specific. He's still talking and backpedaling on his way back to that first base dugout.
I think he wanted some clarification on Serco running down to first base. Possibly was on the left side of the foul line. And possibly could have been runner's interference. He's not going to get it.
Wasn't anywhere close to in the path of the throw. Not that that matters necessarily, but looks clean from up here. That was a clean breaking ball from Casper. Snaps it off for strike 1. The batter is Dolphins. 0-1 with a walk and a fly out to left. Casper looking for a strikeout. He's way ahead in the count now, 0-2 after he blew a fastball past Dolphins. A strikeout, or at the very least, a ball in play on the infield. Anything to the outfield will score at least the lead runner. If it's to right, probably both. Casper's 0-2. taken up and out with a fastball, 1-2. Good miss, though, Tristan. I think that's an aggressive spot. A little bit of a waste pitch, but close enough you might get the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, especially to a lefty in Dolphins. He's looking probably for something elevated after seeing the off-speed pitches. Up and out, it's a beautiful pitch.
Casper does try the breaker again. Didn't quite bend back enough. Tough take there from Dolphins. He's living on the edge. But he's even the count up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Still those 2 runners in scoring position and a 2-run lead for the Titans. Class A elimination game. It's 3-1. 2-2 count. Fastball, that one way outside. Count runs full, 3-2.
For Casper, you don't want to get to the top of the lineup, but in this situation, I like what he's doing is kind of just trying to pan a corner right here and not give anything easy to Dolphins, going for a strikeout.
Dolphins full count pitch. Fastball inside, swung on, foul tipped into the mitt of Schroeder, so Dolphins down on strikes. And Blake Casper now 1 out away from getting out of trouble and keeping the deficit at just 2. They'll have to deal with the top of the order for Papio South, namely Brady Alderson. Alderson today 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. Righty-righty matchup. Casper kicks and deals breaking ball in the dirt off Schroeder's chest plate. 1-0.
After first 2 guys getting on here, for Casper and the Islanders, it would be huge to get out of here with no runs given up.
Schroeder's got to be a brick wall. Anything to the backstop is worth a run. Fastball, letter high, 2-0. And Casper worked yesterday. 2 innings in relief, ends up the pitcher of record with the win as Grand Island eliminates Lincoln Southwest. If the Islanders want to take out another higher-seeded team, they'll need to come from behind in the top of the 7th. Breaking ball, broken off for a strike and a 2-0 count. Now it's 2-1. That's a heck of a pitch there, Tristan.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're facing Alderson, you're facing the top of the lineup. You don't want just an easy get-me-over fastball. Great pitch right there with the breaker.
And see if he doubles down. He goes with the fastball. Alderson swings and misses. Now it's 2-2. First 2 batters of the inning reached. They were sacrificed over before a strikeout. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 6th, 2-run ball game. Blake Casper for Grand Island brings it home. Shot back into the suites to our right. We'll do it again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alderson, batting right-handed. Steps back in the box. Casper is just about ready to bring home another 2-2. He's got the sign. Into the delivery, foul tipped and caught by Schroeder. The Titans waste a golden opportunity to add insurance runs. So, a bit of a spark for Grand Island. They trail 3-1 as we head to the top of the 7th. We'll see if it's Jackson Willer or a fresh arm to close it out for the Titans with the 2-run advantage in the 7th after this on 93.7 The Ticket.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
Back to more of the Class A State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket.
3-1 the score as we enter the top of the 7th inning. Grand Island has 3 outs to work with. They want to attempt to extend their season. They trail 3-1 to Papillion LaVista South. It is indeed Jackson Willer still on the bump trying to close it out for Papio South. Austin Orman, Tristan Gomez with you. We had not yet had first pitch in the final game yesterday. As of 24 hours ago, we were still about 5 minutes away from getting things underway. We appreciate everyone who tuned in for that late game. Saw Lincoln East defeat Papillion LaVista South, so the Titans in the nightcap 2 consecutive days. Lost it last night. They're 3 outs away from winning it tonight. 8-9-1 due up for the Islanders. Cushing, Washburn, and Aarons. Cushing 0 for 1 officially with a hit by pitch and a strikeout. First pitch from Willer misses out, 1-0. Got Willer at 92 pitches right now through 6 innings. He's ready to bring home the 1-0 to Cushing. Kicks and deals. There's a fastball for a strike, 1-1.
I think Papio South is in that situation now where with a 2-run lead, Willer has been dicing this entire game, is if you can get out of this game just with one pitcher going and then you head into tomorrow facing Lincoln East and you have many guys that are rested, guys that can come out of the bullpen that didn't have to pitch tonight, you're looking for that. So I think they're going to continue to push Willer and hopefully he can get these last 3 outs for the Titans.
That one swung on, fouled off by Cushing. It's now 1-2. They have had a player warming up in the bullpen, actually throwing for an inning and a half or so. There's a baseball term for that after Nick Sainer tried to get me in trouble before, I probably shouldn't bring up just to be safe. Cushing goes down looking. Willer went with the fastball, located it well on the outside edge, 1 away. So Brock Cushing goes down looking for the second time tonight. First out of the inning. That brings up Carson Washburn. He sent looping liners to either middle infielder so far 0 for 2. Willer's gone the distance. 95 pitches on the night. Fastball chopped foul. Washburn hops around in some pain, 0-1. It's like he got it off the top of his foot, front of his ankle. Either way, he's not comfortable. Washburn's now having a conversation with Coach Kirby Wells just beyond the dirt circle surrounding home plate. Coach Wells says, rub some dirt on, you'll be fine, kid. Nice little left tap to send him back to the box. Nobody on, 1 out, 0-1 count. Papio South on top of Grand Island, 3-1. Willer working from the windup. Brings a breaking ball home. Appeal down to first base. They'll say that Washburn didn't go.
I like the pitcher's appeal right there. Looked like Circo wasn't planning on appealing at all. You see Willer out there. Can we check that?
Never hurt to ask. Willer into the wind again. The 1-1. Fastball outer edge. Strike 2. Grand Island seen a lot of those fastballs away. Haven't offered it many of them. Have not done much damage on them. Just 1 hit. It was the RBI single from Gavin Ruther just an inning ago. Willer's ahead of Washburn, 1-2. He kicks and fires. Breaking ball down, 2-2. Name of the game for Grand Island right now, Tristan, is survive. Extend at bats as best you can, see pitches. Willer nearing 100 pitches. So if you can extend this game for another dozen pitches or so, you'd have to see a new arm. Willer's 2-2. Swung on, flipped foul down the right field line. We'll reset and do it again.
Carson Washburn, 9-hole hitter for the Islanders, doing just that, is trying to face a few more pitches. And then also in this situation is you don't want to leave it in the umpire's hands. So it's tough. You obviously don't want to chase, but if there's a borderline pitch on the way, you got to find a way to put a bat on ball.
At this point, it's not your pitch, it's your team's pitch. 2 outs to go in the season if you're not able to find 2 runs. The 2-2 to Washburn. Taken high, count runs full. Carson Washburn doing his job, seeing pitches. His team needs him to pay it off in a big way here with Walker a hit. Willer gets the sign from Circo, who drops to a knee behind the dish. Willer brings it home. Cushing taps it weakly back to Willer. He took it off his back, finds the ball, recovers in time, and flips it over to his first baseman, Gorman, for the out. What a funky looking play. You'd usually talk about taking it off your chest. Willer took that one off the top of his back.
I don't know if I've ever seen that where it looked like it possibly he saw it was coming off the mound, might get a bad hop. And so instead of trying to, reach his glove out there and get a short hop or miss it that way, he just said, I'll just wear it off the back and then pick it up and throw it over.
Or see if it bounced over him.
Yeah.
That would have been an impossible play for Clinking Beard as softly as that was hit.
Most of the time you do see him body it up with the chest, but he took it off the back there like a batter, got the out.
Willer's first pitch of the at-bat to Aarons misses out 1-0. Aarons today has flown to left twice and struck out. Aarons winds, brings the ball in the glove back behind his head. Fastball, huge cut again from Aarons. Foul tip into the mitt, 1-1.
We talked about that a little bit earlier. Aarons was, in his previous at-bat, had a few swings that it seemed like he was really trying to let it eat. And right now, a home run really doesn't do much for you. And you're the leadoff guy. Get on base, try to cause a little bit of commotion. Keep that head in there.
Aarons, another big swing, 1-2. The breaking ball down. He swung right over top of. One-two count. Willer on the bump. Aarons in the box. Circo set to receive. The 1-2. Fastball off the plate. 2-2. Matthew Gorman skipping around the first base area. He thought it looked good. Home plate umpire disagreed. Now 2-2 to Aarons. Papio South Titans contingent on their feet down the third baseline. You hear the claps. 2-2 taken, and Aarons goes down looking. The senior walks out of the batter's box one final time at the state tournament. It was 2 backwards Ks in the inning for Jackson Willer to close it out and send Papio South on to a winner-take-all Wednesday. We'll be back to wrap it up shortly on 93.7 The Ticket.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with E15, how about this? E15
can help you save big at the pump
and save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose E15, there you have them. E15, engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseE15.com to learn more.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Back to more of the Class A State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket.
3-1 final. Papillion LaVista South saves its season, stays alive. They'll advance to tomorrow. The afternoon game to take on Lincoln East. Will bring you a Class B game at 10 o'clock and if necessary at 1. And then it'll be here in Class A. Actually, no, I believe we have all Class A here tomorrow. Both halves of the bracket. So look forward to that one. But Tristan, in this one, Papillion LaVista South wins at 3-1. The story for the Titans, likely Jackson Willer there on the bump. Complete game, 1 hitter, 1 run allowed. I had him at 108 pitches. Would have been able to finish the batter had Aaron's been able to extend that at bat. But Aaron's able to save the bullpen. Should be a pretty full clip for the Titans as they attempt to take down Lincoln East twice and advance to a state title game.
Yeah, Jackson Willer was extraordinary tonight for the Titans, and that's exactly what they needed. He did have some trouble, just a little bit, had 2 walks in the night, a hit by pitch, and then 3 errors behind him from this Papio South defense. But outside of that, he was absolutely dominant. It wasn't until Gavin Ruther in the 6th inning was able to get the first hit for the Islanders in this one. So he was dominant, seemed like he had complete control over this lineup, and even when runners did get into scoring position, for the most part, he handled himself well. And like you said, this sets up Papio South very well going into tomorrow, where you have to face a team that you lost 8-1 just last night, just about 24 hours ago. And so for Papio South, having the opportunity to keep your bullpen just a little bit, and Jackson Willer did exactly what the Titans needed.
So coming up tomorrow at 10 o'clock here at Werner Park, it'll be Millard North and Millard South. Millard South will need to knock off the Mustangs twice if they want to make it to the championship game. And as we just said, Papillion LaVista South is on to face Lincoln East, last year's state champions and the 2023 state champions. That'll do it for us today at Werner Park. Join us again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. First game of the day in Class A. Nick Stainert will be here. I hope to join him for first pitch for that one. But for Tristan Gomez, for Harrison Orange, Rudy Gress, Nick Wyman, and the entire 93.7 The Ticket crew, so long, and thanks for listening to Class A State Baseball from Werner Park on The Ticket.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake